In the heart of rural Kenya, where the earth is dry and the horizon stretches endlessly, there lived a boy named Daniel. His family's home was a small mud hut with a thatched roof, standing on land that had seen more droughts than harvests. His father tilled the soil with a worn hoe, his mother carried firewood on her back, and his younger siblings played barefoot in the dust. Daniel's life was simple. Each morning, he woke before sunrise, tied his tattered shirt around his shoulders, and led the goats to graze. The path was long, winding through hills and rocky trails. But Daniel never complained, because it was on these lonely paths that he discovered his gift. Whenever the goats strayed too far, he ran after them, fast, light, like the wind itself. He didn't have shoes, only calloused feet hardened by the rough earth. Yet he felt free. The faster he ran, the more the world around him disappeared. His heartbeat became a drum of determination. His breath, a rhythm of hope. One afternoon, after chasing a stubborn goat up a hill, Daniel reached the top and looked down at the valley. He was drenched in sweat, but he felt alive. That was when he whispered to himself for the first time. Maybe I was born to run. At school, Daniel was quiet. His exercise books were filled with neat handwriting, but his heart was always on the field. During break time, when other children played, he ran. Around the dusty yard, behind the classrooms, across the fields. Always running. One day, a teacher noticed. Mr. Kamau, a tall man with kind eyes, called him aside. "Daniel," he said, "why do you run so much?" Daniel looked down shyly. "I don't know, sir. It just feels right." Mr. Kamau smiled. "Never stop running. One day, it might change your life." But not everyone believed in him. Some children laughed. "You think you will be an athlete? Look at your feet. No shoes, no track, no coach." Even his father shook his head. "Daniel, dreams don't feed a family," he said. "You must work the farm, not waste time chasing the wind." Daniel lowered his eyes, but deep inside, his dream grew stronger. Every insult became fuel. Every doubt became fire. Daniel created his own training ground. Each morning before school, he would run to the river and back, 5 kilometers through rough paths. In the evenings, after tending goats, he sprinted against the sunset. His only stopwatch was the sun. His only cheerleaders were the birds. He had no running shoes. Instead, he cut old tires and tied them with rope to his feet, making heavy sandals. They slowed him down, but Daniel didn't mind. He believed if he could run fast with them, he would fly without them. His mother sometimes watched him from a distance. She never said much, but she prayed quietly, "God, give my son the strength to follow his heart." One morning, an announcement spread through the school: there would be an inter-school athletics competition in the nearby town. The best runners would represent the district. For Daniel, it felt like destiny. When he told his father, the old man frowned. "You will miss a whole day of farm work for this nonsense?" "Baba," Daniel pleaded, "just one chance. Please." His mother placed a gentle hand on her husband's arm. "Let him go. Maybe this is his path." Reluctantly, his father agreed. The competition day arrived. Daniel wore his faded school uniform and carried his old sandals. When he saw the other boys, his heart sank. They wore bright sports kits and real running shoes. They stretched confidently, laughing among themselves. Daniel stood alone, clutching his book bag. Some boys whispered and pointed at his feet. But he remembered Mr. Kamau's words, "Never stop running." When the whistle blew, Daniel burst forward. The track was rough, the sun unforgiving. Dust rose with every step. The boys in shoes took the lead quickly, but Daniel didn't panic. He knew the earth, he knew the rhythm of his breath. Step by step, he pushed harder. Halfway through the race, he was still behind. His chest burned, his legs screamed. The voices in his head said, "You don't belong here. You are just a poor boy." But another voice whispered louder, "Run, Daniel. Run like you always do." With every stride, he closed the gap. The crowd began to notice the barefoot boy flying past competitors. First he overtook one, then two, then three. His body felt weightless, his spirit unbreakable. As the finish line drew near, only one boy remained ahead. Daniel dug deep, summoning every ounce of strength. His feet hit the ground like thunder. The crowd roared as he surged forward. And then, it happened. Daniel crossed the finish line first. He had won. The field erupted in cheers. Teachers, students, even strangers shouted his name. The barefoot boy had defeated them all. Daniel dropped to his knees, tears mixing with sweat. For the first time, he believed fully, "I was born to run." When he returned to his village, he was no longer just Daniel the goat herder. He was Daniel the champion. Children followed him, imitating his run. Parents told their sons and daughters, "Dreams are possible." Even his father, with eyes wet from pride, hugged him tightly. "My son," he whispered, "I was wrong. You were not chasing the wind. You were chasing your destiny." That victory opened doors. Daniel was given real running shoes by a local coach. He began training professionally, representing his school, then his district, and eventually, his country. But Daniel never forgot where he came from. Each time he stepped onto a track, he remembered the dusty roads, the goats, the laughter of those who doubted him, and the silent prayers of his mother. And each time he ran, he carried not just his own dream, but the hope of every child who had been told, "You cannot." This is the story of Daniel, the boy who ran with hope, and proved that no dream is too small, and no beginning too humble.